Can I ask what Pretzel Alley is?
So I've read a few different origin stories.
Okay.
But it seems that
The best stories are stories where it's murky
Yeah.
as to how it
Yes,
started.
exactly.
I already love Pretzel Alley so much.
So what I read was that employees from the corn baking company, which was a German business, they'd either go out on their break or hang out after work, and they'd go in the alley behind the factory. And it was the alley at Main and Harrison Streets.
Okay.
Kind of by where the library is today.
Right.
And they would hang out there, and they like elected them. It was a group of guys who were just kind of hanging out and would have a beer, and then it grew and more friends started showing up, and then they elected a mayor, and they wanted to be sovereign. Like Pretzel Alley is a different
Like break off from Davenport?
kind of, yeah.
Wow.
And then Prohibition rolls around, and they said, okay, no drinking, except Pretzel Alley is a sovereign space, and so they named it the Free and Independent Commonwealth of Pretzel Alley, State of Scott County, USA.
So you could go to Pretzel Alley and
Yeah,
drink?
yeah.
Or were the cops okay with that, or?
I don't think they enforced it much. Again, the
Wow.
story's kind of muddy, but I like to think that they would, they were a group
So
of
when you're
guys.
on Pretzel Alley, the soil is somehow different from the rest of the
Right,
United States, and
right.
you're allowed to drink there. That's just clever.
Yep, and they had postcards, and they had like a weird salute stance that they kind of coined as their own,
But it was just a nickname.
just a nickname. The Corn Bakery made pretzels.
Oh, they did?
Yeah.
Okay, so
yeah.
sometimes there would be pretzels. Beer and pretzels, like I just don't
Exactly,
know how, I don't know
yeah.
how you do better than that. That's just everything. The breweries are local, and they're making beer that are being served at local places. So let's talk like Frick's is open, and like it's 1880, right?
Yeah.
Let's say you and I go back in time to 1880, and we go to Frick's to get a beer. Can you order the beer in English, or is everything in German, do you think?
Both. A lot of the people in this area and on the West End spoke German, and yeah.
Like what percentage, let's say it's 1900, what percentage of people would you guess are speaking only German or or only English or bilingual? Is it mixed, do you think, or?
Probably more than half were speaking German.
Okay.
And they were learning English because they were here and they, kind of were forced to
Sure.
in a way, but there was no laws against speaking German at that point. So they could freely speak German, go into grocery store and order something in German.
You say at that point, I'm guessing somewhere around World War I you couldn't speak German anymore?
Correct. Yeah.
Wow. So like there were laws that you couldn't speak German?
The governor passed a law that said you couldn't speak any foreign language, but it was targeted at Germans.
No kidding. Because really in Iowa there wouldn't have been a lot of foreign
Right.
languages other than German spoken
Exactly.
during those times.
Yep.
You have other cool stuff here. Are these bottles that are on loan? These are all on loan from the same guy's
These are
collection?
all on loan, yep.
Like this Blackhawk beer glass looks like it was made yesterday.
Yeah, it was from the 40s, maybe early 50s. So Blackhawk Brewing Company was a brewing company, and
Right.
then they consolidated with the City Brewery and other breweries in the area, and they kept making Blackhawk beer.
So that was like the big brand, Blackhawk Beer.
Blackhawk beer, you saw everybody.
That's what we
everywhere.
were known for, Blackhawk Beer in Davenport.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep.
These cone top
Yes,
cans.
I really love these too. They started making the cone top cans because they could use them in the same bottling line as the glass bottles.
See, right. If Front Street or a local brewery had beer and you could drink it out of a cone top can, you wouldn't say no to that.
I would love to
Look
try
how
it.
gorgeous that is.
They
What a
are
great
cool.
design that is. But look at that. A famous brew since 1882. Well, if it rhymes, it's got to be
It's gotta be true.
right?
Yep.
So this is where people choose their favorite beers, and then you have a beer glass challenge.
Yeah, so
Test your knowledge on beer glasses.
you go to a bar or a brewery and they give you a glass. You order a beer and they give you a glass.
Right.
Maybe they give your friend a funky looking glass because they ordered something different.
Right. So this is a way that people can kind of figure out which glass goes to which.
Right.
It's just fantastic. You've got all of this really great brewing history, and what I love about the exhibit is it's all, again, local. Like the focus is on local, obviously German, but then obviously super local.
Yeah.
How do people come up here and take a look at this stuff?
So the museum is open Tuesday through Saturday from 10 to 4, and then we're open on Sundays from noon to 4. You can come in and see all of our exhibitions.
You could see other exhibitions in addition to the brewing history. Well, that sounds cool. And then again, like we mentioned, you have these events from time to time. So you could become a member for a year, and then it's cheaper to go to all of the events throughout the course of the year.
Yeah, most of our programs are free for members, or we offer them at a discounted rate. Membership includes admission to the museum all the time, special admission to some of our events. You get updated on all of our new exhibitions and things that change, so there's always something new to see.
If I just wanted to come in and buy some imported German beer, can I do that too?
Yeah.
Like, do you have to be a member to?
Nope.
There's no like password or anything?
No. We should make one though.
A password? The password is Gesundheit. No, there's no password. Just come in and buy the German beer. Well, Claire, this is just an incredible experience, and there's a lot more to learn. We didn't want to give away all of the secrets. Come and see it here for yourself. You know, ordinarily I find it's an easy way to end these segments by saying cheers, but today we'll say Prost.
Prost, yeah.
So, Prost.
Prost.
Brad and I made this in Brad's kitchen. I just shield your eyes. I don't want to hurt anybody.